What's up, what's up, what's up? All of you guys out there, what are you guys doing, man? It's Tuesday night. You guys know what time it is. Alright, guys. Oh, man, what a day. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even really thinking about what kind of show I was going to do tonight. I just kind of wanted to hang out. Let's check out who's in here. I got Jeff. I got 79 Mini. I got Mr. Pappas, Kristen, Robert. All you guys, what's up, man? What have you guys been doing? 79 Mini? Everybody's good tonight? How's everything treating everybody? I know the gas prices are treating us all right about now, guys, huh? Oh my God, what a day, man. What an absolute crazy ruckus day. Went fishing this weekend, you guys. Had an absolute great time. Had a little bit of trouble over the weekend as far as my fishing game goes. I caught a lot of fish, but just the bigger fish weren't friends of mine this weekend, guys. Camera issues, you know, if it's not one thing, it's another, you know. And every time you go fishing, man, it's just such a pain in the ass when you bring up the cameras and stuff like that. Blows my mind, man. This GoPro's going off. That GoPro's going off. I mean, you guys, I gotta tell you guys something. You want to see what my poison, $98. Mini, that's funny you say that. Before I get into that, what I was going to talk to you guys about with the camera issues. Dude, $117 to fill up my truck right now. $117 to fill up the truck. So 3 fill-ups a week means I'm only getting paid for 2 days a week. That is nuts. Robert Sharp, you're going fishing? I got 18 out. I want to fish, waiting for ice out. Dude, ice fishing. That is a blast, man. That is an absolute blast. So you guys, check it out. Today's show. Customers are picking that up. Oh, I know, bro. It's just Mini. It's so bad, man. It's so not fun right now with what's going on. I'm going to leave this up to you guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, what direction do you guys want to do with the show tonight? I really didn't have anything going. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really going to sit around and complain about stuff because I don't really have that much to complain about. You know, we're all still alive. I mean, that's how I wake up every morning. You know what I mean? Like, you guys want to hear a crazy story? One in the chat if you want to hear my life story. All right, my life story. So let me tell you guys a little bit about me. All right. Let's get settled in. Everybody get something. Everybody get something to drink real quick. Brrr. Oh, I don't know if you guys felt that from over there. I'm going to have to get a sweater real quick because for some reason my drinks stay extra cold in my Heathen Squad cup. I was going to say it's a 20-ounce tumbler. So if you guys are interested, go to heathensquad.com. That's heathensquad.com. That's one of my favorite ones. That's a Digicamo one. Whew, I'll tell you, even touching that cup, man, that cup is cold, boy. Not to mention it keeps your drinks just that much cooler, especially Pepsi. All right, guys, story time. So one time when I was young, back in the war, as funny as that sounds, now I know why old men back in the day, like when I was young, were like, back in the Nam, you know. They're not kidding. It's an experience. You know what I mean? So we took mortar fire one night. Everybody was up and scrambling and jumping up and running around. We had these big bunkers that we were going in, like concrete bunkers that were covered in sandbags and stuff like that. And like if we took what's called indirect fire, we had to like run into these mortar pits, basically. You know what I mean? There's an area for us to go in, a mortar shelter. So, dude, one night it just started coming in, man. And I'm talking about like boom, 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 boom. And it kept coming. There was some outgoing and incoming at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I remember I sat up and I looked around. There's people scrambling, dude. They're throwing stuff. They're freaking out. I got guys that are like half getting their boots on. I got people that are trying to get dressed and stuff. And I'm like, man, somebody's gonna get hurt just trying to get dressed, right? So I just like straight laid back down, dude, and went back to sleep because I'd worked for like 7 days straight before that, right? In war, like I'm getting my first 24 hours of downtime, and this is my first night, and then they're gonna start mortaring me, right? Dude, I slept through it. The next day I got up, dude, I can't find anybody, but then I was like, oh no. So I walked outside of the tent, dude, and the commander was there, and he just chewed me up, dude. He chewed me up. He's like, if you're not going to do what you're supposed to do, you know, you're going to end up getting yourself killed. And I was like, but I didn't. You know what I mean? I'm all right. He's like, you know, if there's mortar fire, we got to get to the barrier. We got to get to the bunkers, and we got to get in there. We got to count. We got to make sure we got all our sensitive items. And I was like, I got all my weapons. I got my mask. I got everything I'm supposed to have. It's right here in the bed with me. You know what I mean? Like, if it was go time, dude, I'm good. I got everything right here. I'll just get up and go. I was like, but I figured if I'm getting up and running around, I got a better chance of running into one of these things than I do them actually landing it on me. So it's kind of like one of those stay in one place, like home base, you feel safe things, right? He's like, oh, is that how you feel, smart ass? I'm like, well, I'm just being honest, sir. So for like the next 3 days, I spent the time filling sandbags all the way up the side of the fucking tent, like 6.5 feet all the way around my tent. And every other asshole that I know had to fill sandbags and go all the way up around their tents because of me, because I didn't want to get out of the bunk, because I didn't want to get blown up running into something. Now we all had to put sandbags around our tents so we wouldn't have to worry about getting out of our tent if we took fire again. So after 3 days of filling sandbags, I thought to myself, you know, how am I going to get even with everybody? How am I going to just let it be known that I'm pissed off but not get myself in trouble? So I used to get up like 2:30, sometimes 3 o'clock. That was about my time to get up. And then I would go take a shower because I know the water would be the coolest that it would be, because the water out there is held in like tanks above the ground and it gets boiling hot. So if you try to take a shower anytime before like 3 o'clock in the morning, that water's coming out at like 9 billion degrees. Like it'll melt your skin. There's no such thing as cold. It's literally just flowing from a tank onto your head, right? So, dude, absolute nightmare, right? So I go in and I'm getting my shower, man, and I come out of my shower and I thought to myself, man, I've got to come up with like some way of letting everyone know that I'm okay, since everybody was so friggin' concerned with the fact that I couldn't be found the night before, or 3 nights before, when the mortars went off. So I did my normal like 2:30 in the morning wake up, and I was laying there sleeping like this. And I jumped up and I yelled, "Still alive!" And everybody jumped up and they were like, "What the f are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, since everybody was so worried, I wanted to let you guys know I'm still alive. You know, just so everybody knows I'm okay. I'm going to get up and leave the tent now. So if something happens, at least you guys know I'm alive, you know." "Oh, that's not funny. That's not funny." Dude, I did this for like 2 weeks. I did this every day for like 2 weeks. I woke up at like 2:30 in the morning talking about still alive, and everybody got so pissed off. And then finally it like got to the commander, and he was like, listen, you don't have to let everybody know you're still alive. I was like, well, everybody was so freaking concerned when I was not in the bunker, so I just figured I'd let everybody know. Well, as the war progressed, and the years went on, and I say in the years because I'm not talking about I did a weekend. No, it wasn't no weekend. I'm talking about years. Like, I was gone for years in multiples. Like, it's not a joke. And, one of my buddies was like, how do you feel about, remember that time you used to do that joke about, still alive? And over the years of combat, man, I started to realize that just waking up in the morning is a gift, dude. It's a gift. We are all lucky. Every single day we are lucky just to get up in the morning. So regardless of how your self-talk is, or whatever situation you're faced with, be it financial, be it emotional, if you're just one of those people that struggles with that kind of thing in the morning, if it's physical, there's pain that ails your body and it's overwhelming, whether it's spiritual and you just don't know where you're at in life or what direction you're going, remember one thing when you get up in the morning: you're still alive, dude. Start there. You're one up on a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So, little life story for you guys. Good times, huh? Yeah, no kidding, Minnie. You know what I'm saying? It is always good if you can see another sunrise. It's amazing. It's amazing. All right, guys. Now that story time's over, man, what do you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about? Somebody said fishing line. I looked up here. Minnie said let's talk line. All right, 79 Minnie Bud, what's your question on fishing line? Go ahead, man, whenever you're ready. If someone else has something they want to talk about, get it. Did anybody see Outlaw's big bass he caught the other day? Dude, he crushed it. He had an 8, and then he had like a 6.5. I'm not lying. It might have been closer to 7. I had like a 3 3/4. I was about the big for my day, and it was a total flop accident. Other than that, I caught like 70 fish. I probably caught, between the two of us, I honestly will say we caught about 50 fish. It was crazy. It was crazy. Cameras beeping, going off. I had more camera problems than you guys would ever believe. If it wasn't one thing, it was another as far as camera problems goes. Yeah, I know, Bass Queen. That's the reality of it, man. My mom, she had a hard time when I served. My dad, I didn't even have the heart to tell my dad I was in war. There was no way, dude. No way. I think I waited like a year and a half before I even told him that I was gone, which is rough, but I think it was better for him that way. You know what I mean? It's a lot on somebody's plate, dude. It's a lot to tell somebody that, so tough one. All right, Minnie wants to talk line. Minnie, what do you want to talk about, man? You want to talk about line size? You want to talk about the differences in the line, whether it's 8 strand or 6 strand or 4 strand braid? Are we talking about fluorocarbon? Are we talking about monofilament uses? Scenarios with each different braid, each different line, pros and cons, how I feel about it. I mean, I'm down with any of that stuff if you want to know all that stuff. I would definitely talk about those things. Leaders. All right. Well, here's my rule of thumb on leaders, Minnie. What are you backing? I like to run braid to fluoro. I like to run braid to fluoro leader, but I do my matching based on line diameter. So I tend to use an 8-strand braid, which is a little bit different than what a lot of people use. A lot of your standard braid is a 6, like your spider wire, I think that's a 6. They make what's called a Jap 4, which is just a 4-strand. It's a little bit of a flatter line. It doesn't stay as round as the other lines. When you get into the 8-strand, it does stay rather round, longer. It has less memory. It doesn't flatten out. It tends to stay raveled on itself. It doesn't fray as much. But my rule of thumb is if I'm running like 40-pound braid, I'm not going to run like a 4-pound test leader. You know what I'm saying? Like if I go 4-pound test, I'm running like 10-pound braid. If I'm running 10-pound, 20-pound braid, I'm running 6-8-pound test on my leader. As far now, that's fluorocarbon. I'm gonna do the same with monofilament, but the difference is I'm not gonna throw monofilament on a leader unless I'm working top water. Monofilament floats as to where fluoro falls more natural, and braid just collects water and drops. You know, but your thicker braids with lighter baits will actually float. So you got to be wary of that. You know what I mean? As far as my preferred leader lengths, doesn't matter. I've given that every bit of thought. 100 different scenarios. I've gone with 6 foot a leader line, 8 foot a leader line, 4 foot a leader line, 2 foot a leader line, and I think on the last 3 foot leader line I tied, I'm down to like the last 6 inches of leader line, and I'm not tying another one because I'm still hitting fish with just 6 inches of leader. Like that's all it's taking for the line to be disappeared. But I will tell you this, Minnie, get you a Sharpie. Get you a Sharpie and go ahead and black that braid out for 2-3 feet up to your leader and go with it. Go with it. You know, run that Sharpie down that braided line and make sure that it stays nice and black. Spin it in your fingers and black the whole line. Because fish, for some reason, can't see black. You would think that with that great, vast knowledge that fish can't see black, they would just make all the fishing line black. But no, they don't do that. They don't do that. The next thing is, Minnie, what are you tying for a knot, bud? As far as your braid to leader knot, Outlaw likes the Surgeon's knot. Very efficient knot. Mark, what's going on, man? Very efficient knot. I prefer the double uni. That's one that you might want to get into if you get a chance to check those different knot styles. There are a ton of tutorial videos on YouTube about that. I believe I did one in the last fishing video, which was, I think that was the Kenansville video. I want to say Kenansville video. I did like a 3 or 4 minute tutorial on that. Yeah, Surgeon's a fantastic knot, man. Surgeon's a fantastic knot. I really like that knot. You know, but I think I tie the double uni a lot faster myself, and I really can tell you I've never had a broken one. I've never broke off on my knot. So that's just my luck. You know what I'm saying? I did have a break off this weekend, man. You guys, Saturday hurt my heart, dude. So Outlaw hit this giant fish, but I'm going to tell you right now, I think I dropped a double digits, dude. I think I finally broke one off. I kid you not, guys. So there I was, right? No shit, there I was. See, a fishtail. That's why I named this one a fishtail. So no, I'm not kidding you, man. I cast out, had the wind to my back, dude, and Outlaw was kind of making fun of me. Sorry, screen stare. Outlaw was kind of teasing at me, and he's like, send it. Because every time I got the wind on my back, man, I would just, you know what I'm saying? And I'm throwing 20-pound braid with a little 10th ounce jig, nothing special. You know, my magic worm, dude. And this thing's hitting the wind, and I'm throwing it like 40 yards in the air. You know what I mean? And we had like 35 mile an hour gust and like 25 sustained Saturday, right? So this thing was like sending it, dude. And when it was all the way out there, man, I could barely feel this thing. But like as soon as it hit the water, like right in this little patch hole of Drilla, I could see it way down by the reeds, right? I set the hook, dude. This thing came out of the water like 3 feet in the air, and I'm talking it was this big. It was 30 inches, dude. 24 to 30 inches easy. And I could only see the belly, so I couldn't get a good color of what it was. If I'd have seen any side, I would have known what the scale pattern was, but I did not see the bottom gar fin. And Outlaw says he swears it was a bowfin. So anyway, I'm fighting this thing, right? I got it all on video. You guys are going to see it. I just haven't even gotten to finish the last video yet to get the new one out there. Mudfish. Outlaw was not a mudfish. I'm telling you, dude. I think it was double digits. But we're going to watch it on video. We're going to slow it down. I'm going to do the whole thing, man. It's not going to be that difficult. And I'm going to put it all together. I think about releasing that one in 2026. I think I'm going to release that last episode. I'll tell you what, that thing keeps drinks cold. I don't care who you are. If you don't have one of those things available at heathensquad.com, I don't even know how to help you out. You know what I'm saying? I think it could have been a bass, Mark. I really do. I've never seen a bass 30 inches. But there's bass there's like 12, 15 pounders in that lake. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no telling. I've never seen one that big in person. So for all I know, dude, 28 to 30 inches could be easy. You know what I mean? The last one that Buddy caught the other day, the 8-pounder, bud, that was a beast. That was 22. No, 22 is small. Dude, holding that thing up, honestly, that thing was 26, maybe 28 inches. Honestly. Mudfish. Look at it, he's spamming me. He's gonna spam me in mudfish. That's so awesome. So awesome. But guys, I will tell you a funny story though. See now Buddy's making fun of my little ones. That wasn't 24 inches. We're measuring fish from now on. We're measuring fish, dude. I'm telling you right now. So check it out. So Buddy was struggling Saturday a little bit. He had a little struggle on. So I put this worm on, this zinker, right? And I pulled this thing, and I pulled all the salts out of it, right? And he cast it, and he was kind of making fun of me, and he was like, all right, catch that. That second cast, he hooked him up a little dink, dude, and I was like, that's it. And it wasn't a dink. It was like, a pound and a half fish. But nonetheless, I was like, there it goes, bro, and you're on your way. And magically, here this guy does. Dude, he came out with that 8-pounder, and it was on the Gandrel. So it was like I got to watch him hit that little dink on my technique with his new, spin cast rod, and then I got to watch him tie on the Gandrel and just like strike it big with that 8-pounder. Dude, the emotion's so high. There was so much going on, you guys. You have no idea what that feels like. Like, it's really nerve-wracking. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to, you got to treat the fish right. You can't just have it out of the water for any period of time because you're having a good time. But at the same time, you're like wanting to film it, but you're wanting to cake film, but you're not wanting to spend that much time filming. So it's like a whole adventure, man. And then he didn't even get to enjoy that fish until like maybe 40 minutes after he caught that fish. And then it all hit, and he was like, oh, buddy, I just slammed it up. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad somebody did. I wasn't salty or nothing. I had a really good time, dude. It was a nice trip. Yeah, Rod, I'm with you on that one, man. I'm glad I didn't catch it too, bud. There was a couple of times, Rod. I shook a lot. Rod, let's just say this. He's in the chat, so he can be on it. I shook a lot of fish off. Dude. There was just no reason for me to keep bringing those fish to the boat. It really wasn't. And then the cameras were just the biggest issue. It's so difficult to come out and create this kind of content, man, and at the same time enjoy yourself. Because, when the cameras start beeping and everything's starting to get, crazy and stuff, dude, there's no good times. This becomes, really stressful really quick, man. I only catch big fish. Oh, whoa. Outlaw said Buddy went out there and hit 4 dinks. You talking about big bait, Buddy? Outlaw? Big bait, Buddy? Swim bait guy? Is that the same guy? My buddy went out to our spot. He did make it to our spot, huh? Some big tiger muskie up there in Michigan. Pat did, yeah. Wow, man. That's a rough day if he rolled out there and didn't find it. You crushed it. Like I said, bro, watching you the other day and your average and stuff like that, your hookup ratio was hurt, but you made up for it with the ones you did hook up were beasts, dude. And that's rough, man. That's rough. I went law of averages, man, and it did not pay off. I should have been throwing the big all day. Oh, Oh, I'm hearing this. This sounds like a horror story down in the chat. Power poles, dude. Rod says we need to do a live bait versus lure challenge. Rod, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, dude. Like, that's fun and all, but like, it's not gonna be fun. Like, it's really not. Y'all know about his live bait technique. Y'all seen the live bait technique he's got. Wind spun him out and busted his power poles, dude. Wow. And you hot-footed that entire Saturday. No power pole, no anchor, and just straight hot-footed. And dude wore his power pole out. Yeah, it's funny, Bass Queen, how just recording, barely moving. Yeah, no, we did. Just recording, just pisses you off. It really does, man. And dude, buddy, Outlaw on the last trip, you guys, he came off a looping and he recorded a 27-minute segment, which I'm really glad he did, because that was the 27 minutes of the big swim bait, man. But whoo, I mean, it is nerve-wracking. It is so nonsense stressful going out here and filming these things, like, for the duration. Thank God for loop, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, recording is the rough spot. So what do you guys want to do tonight, man? You guys thinking about any more questions? Any more conversation starters? Anybody ready for the big Wednesday night? It's Wednesday night. It's halfway through the week. I don't need questions. I need the answers. We all need the answers, bud. What is the dog tag on your hands about? All right. You guys, one in the chat if you guys want a story. All right, I guess I'll tell you guys. So, when I got in the military, I met a girl, like a lot of people do, and we didn't really, I wasn't one of those people to do anything with anybody in the Army, and neither was she, so it was kind of perfect, you know what I'm saying? We really didn't have that issue. Like, a lot of people mess up marriages in the military, man. It's like really bad. Like, they make really bad decisions, and it's not the kind of place you want to be doing that. And like I always said, there's two places you don't want to meet the love of your life. One's a combat zone, and the other one's a rehab. Straight up, you will not find the love of your life in those two places. It's just not. It's not where you want to start looking. You know what I'm saying? Desperate people, desperate decisions. You don't want to do it. But after we got out of the military, well, after we got off of the combat tour, we both came back stateside. We got jobs, and I went and started a company, and she went over and worked for NASA. And a couple of years later, we bumped into each other, and one thing led to another. Now, we'd had some experiences in combat, so it was a little interesting that we like really knew each other because of a previous life, you know what I mean? And then later on in life, ran into each other again. And due to the fact that a lot of people don't get treatment for their mental health when it comes to post-traumatic stress disorder and traumatic brain injury, which in the beginning was never really diagnosed based upon some of the things we did. But I will tell you, when you have combat like we experienced, these things all weigh on you. Well, make a long story short, you know, she couldn't face what she was going through, and she took the forever sleep decision. So I went ahead and put her dog tag in my hand, and then years back when I used to think about her, I had it, you know. So that's the story of the dog tag, just so you guys know. It's a little sentimental for me. It was a decision that a buddy of mine said that he thought was like the biggest, coolest thing in the world, and took me to a dude to get it. So that's how I ended up with a dog tag in my hand. Hey, thanks, Minnie. I appreciate it. Oh, hold on. Rod says overkill on your line strength choice. What do you mean, Rod? Because down here, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're not like, I wouldn't fish a few of the lakes that I fish with anything less than like 20-pound braid. Like, and that's just super light, and you're gonna lose fish. Like, I'm just gonna tell you, you're gonna lose fish. Now, I ran 20-pound braid on a 18-pound fluorocarbon leader, and it snapped the leader right at the hook. So that was just a nick that somehow got on the end of that knot and broke it. But dude, you have no control. If these fish want to go down and they're big enough, they're gonna ghost you. They're gonna ghost you. Yeah, I know. It's tough, Outlaw. In the hand is a rough one, is a really rough one. Who did it? Let me be honest with you, because this is going to be a funny story. So I was in Vegas, and I ran into a dude who did Jesse James' sucker, pay up sucker tattoo on Jesse James. And I met him through a dude at a tattoo place that was doing a tattoo show when I was in Vegas, and that dude did it. And 2 days later, I was throwing block at a construction site, cleaning some stuff up, and I didn't have gloves on, and I wasn't even thinking about it, and some cinder blocks straight ran, like I roughed cinder block up like 2 days into having my tattoo. So what was like these perfect readable lines and shadow just literally was destroyed within 48 hours. And then getting a tattoo in your hand is like the worst idea in the world, just for anybody that's thinking about doing it. It's just like throwing money away every 90 days when you have to get it touched up, because every 3 months your hand like totally changes its entire skin makeup. So in order to not get the fat lines, you got to get a guy who knows what he's doing with some really good thin lines, and the dude was really good. Yep. Yeah, no. Ever had a gator taking a fish while reeling it in? No. We got a funny story for the gators, though, Jeff. We almost got eaten alive. Wet palms aren't going to hold up. Yeah, no. We knew that. We knew. Yeah, way too fast, for sure. Neverlings. No. Yeah. Yep. Hooked a gator with beards. I'm going to tell you guys... I'm going to tell you guys a funny one about a gator. So we're sitting out on the water, right? And we're coasting through our lily and through our hyacinths, not hyacinths, the reed walls. And then we were going through all the drilla. You know, you're kind of snaking your way through the lake, right? So we're talking. I keep hearing this. And I looked over at Outlaw and I was like, Bud, is that a bullfrog? And he's like, it's got to be a bullfrog. Sounds like a bullfrog. I'm like, man, I'll tell you, it sounded to me like there's some gators somewhere real close, right? So we start rolling around. He's like, yeah, there's some gators over there. I'm like, yeah, there's a couple of gators over there. And I turn my head to the right, and there's a gator like right there. Like Johnny on the spot, talking about like if he moved his head, he was on the boat. Like, that's how close he was, sitting up on this mat, right? And I looked over at Lonnie, and I was like, Bud, he's like, oh, shit, there's a gator right there. I'm like, yeah. So he just kind of, like, tools away, and then we had this whole 15-minute conversation about, Bud, what would we do? Like, what do you do if this thing gets on the boat? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I have no idea. You know, you don't jump in the water. That's rule 1. You know what I'm saying? You're going to definitely end up in his world if you jump in the water, but you can't shoot at it. Because if you miss, you just like, you're punching holes in the boat, you know? So we're just laughing. He's like, yeah, we could hit him with the rod, you know? And all I'm thinking is this freaking gator's going to get down in between the seats. And like, he's just going to mess up my camera stuff. He's just going to mess, and I'm going to feel so bad, dude. He's just going to thrash around. And then we're really going to have to figure out how to get this damn thing out of the boat, dude. So yeah, that got a little nervous. I got a little nervous with that one, man. I'm not in. Yeah, I'm making some boots. Yeah, Rod. That's the whole thing, though, Rod. What are you going to bring? What did you bring? You going to shoot it? You honestly going to shoot it on the boat? I mean, I might take a chance of shooting it on the boat. I'm not going to lie. If that was, like, if it really did happen, I'm telling you right now, I don't think it's a situation. Like, I'm not that country. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not down south, that far south, to where, like, I'm on it. You know, some of you guys might be. I am not that guy. You know, you're not going to see me jumping on the gator. I'm just not. Now, I have friends, the guys that I know personally that I've actually been fishing with, that have been like, I'm going to catch me a gator. And I'm like, all right, dude. I've seen dude take off and like dive on little gators, you know, 4, 5, 6 foot gators. Like, just do it. Like, there he is. No, dude, that's not for me. You understand? Like, not anything that big. He's a big guy, so he can do that. Me? Nah. I get bit. I don't know. Maybe my luck's bad, dude. My luck's bad. Put a little bit more music on. You get a drink. No pythons, man. I haven't seen any pythons. I have not seen any pythons, so that's cool. It was the last thing, dude. I'm more worried about like anaconda, because I mean they're saying there's some anaconda down in the glades, dude, that are like 12, 15 feet. Like, that's sick, dude. I do not want anything to do with a 15-foot friggin' anaconda strolling through, but they're out there, dude. They're out there. Pythons, yeah. Further south, Mark, yeah, maybe like more towards the glades, like South Okeechobee. Well, I guess technically we are south of Okeechobee and Vero, so I don't know. Maybe you're talking about like further southwest, maybe like more gladesy. Rachel said the anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, son. Yeah, so that's it, man. That was another experience. We chalked up another positive fishing day. Like I said, I still haven't even pulled the footage. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, man. I've just been so busy with other stuff that between work and everything else, man, there's just no keeping up with it these days. I mean, we got to be able to put gas in our cars, right? Oh my God, you guys, I'm gonna start talking politics here in a minute, the way this thing's going. Yeah, so other than that, man, we talked a little bit about leaders tonight. We talked a little bit about other stuff. We told some stories. That's always good times. I enjoy telling stories like that. Beard's just like, any day I'm not banned on the boat, it's a good day. Yeah, no. Yeah, Jeff, exactly. Barracuda. I don't want nothing to do with any of those things, man. Kristen says 6+. Yikes. Yeah, like I said, I know Buddy, he spent some money this weekend just to go fishing, man. And I know I spent some money just to go fishing too, and then came home to a broken pool filter, spent some more money. This is an expensive weekend, you know what I mean? Like, I thought I had a check on Friday, and then Monday was like, dude, I must not have gotten paid, and looked in my account and was like, oh, no, I spent that. That's all gone. I put gas in the car. Thought about taking the wife out for something nice tonight for dinner. I said, babe, you want to do something nice for dinner tonight? She said, yeah. I said, we're going to spend us some money. She's like, are we? I said, yeah. We put 3/4 tank in the old Ford. Came back home, made some sandwiches, ate some leftovers. She's like, well, I thought we were going to dinner. I was like, we did. I just put it in the tank. Like a week's worth of groceries right there. I mean, that's how it feels at this point, man. Unbelievable, you guys. The meme is like dead nuts, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even a joke. It used to be like, no, that meme's serious as a heart attack. You want to go somewhere expensive, just go put gas in your car. It'll hurt your feelings, dude. But as you guys know, what are you going to do? You can just go fishing. That's about the best thing. I went out today, Rod, that's about what I'm paying right now daily. Right down here in Florida, it's $4.15 is about the average around my house. But I went fishing today, and within I think it was about the first 15 casts, I hooked up with a little 2.5 pounder, man, and I called it. It was quick, dude. I was like just flicking out at this boat ramp and just sitting there flicking down this little pad line at the boat ramp and not really expecting to catch anything. But then there it was, brought it right up, and I was like, all right, I'm going home. Like, I'm going to call that a fishing day. I couldn't, I don't really even think I could do that. I don't think I can sit out there all day anymore. It's just too much. I'm looking at some of you guys' gas prices down here in the chat, getting caught in screens. It's a little tough. It's a little tough not to get caught in the screens, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Trying to stay focused on the chat, at the same time engaging you guys in stories. So it's kind of like one of those things where you just have to continue telling the story and then looking down, and that's not as easy as you would think it is. Bass Queen, I would love to fill up for $3.79. You have no idea what that would feel like. Other than that, guys, it's getting about that time of year, man. We're brighter the better. We're coming into reds and really, really bright chartreuses, and now's the time, man. If you're throwing something loud right now that's just easily visible, a lot of bass are pushing into post spawn all over the country. Warming up weather in some of the southeast and the southwest areas. Northeast is, you guys are still dealing with the ice fishing and stuff like that, but for us, dude, wow. Big Dan, are you serious, dude? Almost a grand. Wow. I feel for you, Dan. I feel for you, man. That's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, we were talking about it already. It's like, you know, you used to be able to go fishing for $30, you know, just 2 short years ago. It was $30 worth of fuel. That was the truck, you know what I mean? And it was $25 for the boat. And now it's $150 to fill up the truck in the boat. And then you got to fill up the truck when you get back, you know, and we ain't even filling up the boat again to the next trip, you know, and it's really sad, man. It's really sad. But just, you know, remember, you guys, what's important is that I have my full support for the people of Ukraine because Russia. That's what's important. That's all I need to say, you know. And this way I get the push on the YouTube because I said what they want me to say or everybody else to say. It seems like that's what gets promoted now. Oh, guys, don't even get me started in that. I will turn into a different animal and ruin a fishing show. So back to fishing. No, I'm just kidding. Anybody else got any fun? You guys want to ask any more questions or hang out or do anything for the next couple of minutes? We can hang out. We can listen to some music. We can watch some videos. Keep a pole in the truck. Let's go with the narrative. There you go. See, Rod understood. Rod gets it. Rod gets it. Safe and effective, Rod, if that's what they want. I heard some people got like multi-million and multi-billion-dollar contracts on some of our favorite news channels. But I'm not going to talk politics on here, you know. I don't want to go that way. Red bass, huh, Ice? Is that Ice? You're Tampa side, right? Or are you like Miami side, Ice? Bass Queen went fishing at a wedding. Oh my God. Yeah, Duval. No kidding. The rock bass. Yes, Rod, we do have rock bass. We call them golden bass down here. I've got a video, as a matter of fact, on the channel of catching a golden bass. They just get a lot smaller. They're like this big. They don't really get a chance to get too big down here. They really don't. It's not the right environment for them. They get wolfed up, dude. These largemouth down here are brutal, dude. They will eat anything. Like, I know you guys saw that gandrel. Like, that thing is not a joke, dude. That is a mallet. That thing is a massive bait, dude. It's big. It's like not like the biggest swim bait I've got. Because I mean, like, if you guys want to see something funny, let me show you something really funny. You guys want to see something crazy? Look at this. That's to give you an idea, dude. That is a beast, dude. I think these are 10-inch mag swims, dude. Absolutely brutal, man. These are some big old plastic swim baits, dude. I'm waiting for the time that stuff gets to fire up. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I get a chance to fire up with something big like that, dude. But then again, there's like this whole paddle tail thing, you know, the difference between a paddle tail and a fork tail. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just waiting. Like, it's not that season yet. You got to get into the summer months when you start getting into the... I caught a shiner this weekend, though. That was pretty crazy. I caught like a shiner like this big on my magic worm. which was funny because what are the odds? But it fell off, so I kind of chuckled about that because I was thinking, dude, if I get this thing in the boat, this little shiner, dude, I'm so putting a hook in this thing and like landing the biggest fish of my life, dude. I'd use my water bottle as a bobber at that point. Like I would have straight used a water bottle bobber if I would have caught that big shiner and got it in the boat. That would have been the best. I think I broke his face though, pulling him up through the water. I like fly rods, Robert. I really do, man. I got a nice ultralight lose set, and I've got a really nice fly rod. You guys want to see my fly rod? Did you guys ever see my fly rod? Put one if you want to see my fly rod. All right, one if you guys want to see my fly. I'm going to pull out my fly. Rod said no, he don't like flies. Alright guys, this thing is really cool though. Like this is how into fishing I am. This is a Three Forks Outfitters. If you guys know anything about these guys, this is the NXT Black. Watch this. This thing's sexy. It's a 4-piece. I believe it's 9 foot. I believe. Yeah, 9 foot 4-piece NXT Black label. Right here, look at this bed. This thing's super duper cool, man. It's very expensive. This is a full on. It's an 8 pound. I run an 8 pound line on this to a 2 pound tippet. For those of you that are into the fly fishing, you know anything about tippets and stuff like that. But this thing rocks, man. I've had this for a minute. I've got 3 largemouth on this, and I haven't been able to get it out of the largemouth yet. So I've got to get a chance to go up north. I've been thinking about maybe taking a trip up to Georgia, and if not, like North Carolina, or try to get up a little bit further north and get a chance to fish fly again. Because man, down here I just put like a popper on it, or sometimes I'll run like a bug, not a bug, but looks like a beetle, but it's just a piece of yarn that just floats down a couple inches in the water, and you hand pull it. Just a little hand pull, just little hand pulls, and it just streaks through. I've gotten that thing smashed a few times pulling that. But yeah, this is one of my favorites, dude. This thing, like total with the reel, I think comes in at like 6 ounces. Like it's a third of a pound with the reel and the whole rod. So I mean, this thing is like super sick. Need to come over to the bay and try for tarpon. Minnie, dude, on a serious note, man, you know anybody over? You got tarpon over there? Like, you know how to get to them? Like, you know what's going on with those, man? Hey, Casey Goebel's in the house. What's up, Casey? Robert Sharp? Yeah, I've been dying. Like, this is a tarpon setup, dude. And that's the worst part about it, man. Like, I really want to get myself into some tarpon fishing. Like, I really want to get myself into some tarpon fishing because I've got everything I need. I just have to change out that tippet. I don't think I'm going to run a 2 pound tippet on a tarpon. I think I might go up to like a 6 pound tippet and then have the 6 pound float line. And I think that will be plenty. Now, granted, that's going to be one hell of a fight because I'm really coming in when I should be coming in with like an 8 or a 10 pound because that's more of like your kingfish and stuff like that. That's the big flyweight line, heavy rod, heavy style. But I like coming in a little bit lighter, man, because then I get that full experience and I get that whole, the pose. You guys know the pose. You saw the video, the pose. Yeah, I like that style, man, myself. I prefer that. Jeff, I know. Maybe I'll catch a barracuda. Bass Queen, if your husband wants to get into fly fishing, buy another car. Or gold. Or silver. Just not crypto. Because the amount of money you're going to spend getting into fly fishing is going to be like, you were better off just buying another car. Like, it starts to get ridiculous, dude. The NXT Black was $550. To give you an idea. And that was just the rod and the reel. So that's a bit much for your entry level. But I mean, you can find some really nice scientific anglers out there for around $60-$70. They're good starters, and they have much higher drag reels. That one's got like 0, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's more of like, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a minute and I'm not new, you know what I mean? You want to get something a lot more forgiving. The forgiveness on this particular rod, okay, so there's like beginner, and then there's intermediate, and then there's like pro. Now, when I say forgiveness, you make a mistake with the beginner one, it doesn't mess up much line and everything's fine. You make a mistake with the intermediate one, you're gonna have a little dicking around just to get your stuff back together to make your next cast. You make a mistake with the pro one, you're pulling all the line out and starting all over again because you jacked everything up because you didn't realize that your spool was actually spinning free on your cast because you weren't pulling out enough line, and your whole spool is just jacked up in there. So I mean, you really, if you're new to it, come in with the you'll see there's actually like a forgiveness scale on the actual rod themselves. It'll say like beginner, it'll say like intermediate, it'll say advanced. If you're new at fly fishing, avoid the advanced one like the plague. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be able to cast it correctly. You're not going to get the correct action when you're coming back. And you're going to be really upset when you hook into that fish and everything just gets undone. Like, your whole world just goes out because you were expecting this big drag and there isn't any. It's just you. It's you're the drag. If you weren't fast enough to grab it and that fish decided to bolt, snap foo, you know what I mean? Like, you're losing your gear. That's the bottom line. You're going to lose your tippet. You're probably going to lose a bunch of line. Things are going to get hung up, jacked up. Don't fish near trees if you don't know how to cast, and there's a lot of stuff you got to know about fly fishing before you can get in there, man. Casey said red fish, gray fish, blue fish, one fish, two fish. Oh, man, I'm taking myself into kayaking. Talking myself into kayaking, one of those islands in the bay I've seen the guys on YouTube get tarpon at. Oh, that would be cool, Minnie. Sitting in a pile of line. Yeah, that's it, Ace. That's exactly right, Ace. That's because you're pulling it all right here on you. You know what I mean? It's getting on the ground. It's caught up in the grass and the sticks and stuff, and then you're dealing with the fish and you're trying to get that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun, man. There's nothing better than jacking up a bunch of fishing line while you're out there. Oof, the old wind knot, boy. Other than that, man, I found my grandpa's reel still in the box, unused, silk thread line. Wow, pre-World War II. That's like the old Zebco find, you know what I'm saying? The guys that find them old Zebcos still in the box, and they end up being worth more money now than they are then. The silk thread line thing, though, that's super cool. Like, super duper cool. I wouldn't sell that. I wouldn't do anything with that. I'd probably I'm a hoarder, so I'd probably keep that forever. Forever. Like, I'd pass it on. It would be like that item. Oh, well, kids pissed away your whole life savings, but I got you this fishing reel. All right, guys. I don't know about you. I'm going to put a little something in the cup here. And then we'll go on for a couple more minutes, guys. And then I'm sure some of the big dogs are going to be coming in and hanging out, man. What else you guys got? Bow fishing. Casey Goebel's asking me about bow fishing. Well, let me tell you something, Casey. I have been bow fishing before. And I know if I ever do go bow fishing again, it's going to be for tilapia. And it's going to be at headwaters. And I'm not going to eat them because they're disgusting. And I don't eat fish. But I am going to kill a lot of them because I know where they all live. Because this weekend, I think I found all of them. Like every one that exists in one lake, I think I pretty much found them. All of them. And that was not fun. Ooh, cold. Brr. Feed the raccoons. You don't sound bitter at all. Yeah, no, I'm a little bitter with that, dude. I thought I saw more fish this weekend. I was so excited about every single time. I'm like, dude. It was just tilapia. Everywhere I looked, dude. It was the worst experience in the world seeing that many tilapia. And we were both talking about it. We were like, man, seeing one, like, that's cool. You're going to see a couple. Like, sometimes you'll see 2 or 3. No, I'm talking about, like, we ran into, like, 50 tilapia. We took this one turn behind this reed wall, and we could kind of see the beds from a distance. So we started making our way, and then there was just hundreds of tilapia. And I'm talking about, like tilapia. Like, the ones I caught in the fishing tournament, like, those were everywhere, dude. Everywhere. And they're massive. And I was telling Buddy, I was like, dude, if I ever ate these things, like, this would be a killer. Like, I'm thinking about going down and hunting like 600 of these things just to give them away. I don't know anybody where, I don't even know where I could give them away. But I'm like, if I could find a place that would take them, I would tell you right now, I would devote days of my life to hunting these things, like, for seriously. Because I just don't like them that much. Ever since that tournament, and that's, like, not the first time I've caught a big tilapia, dude. Like, that's, like, the 4th time in a fishing tournament I've caught a tilapia. Not a giant one. The other 3 were 2 mediums and a small. But the last one was a giant, dude. And that was so depressing, man. So depressing to land a big tilapia like that when you're out there thinking about fishing. So, guys, I really haven't done any more good times, man. I haven't really been making any fishing videos. I've just sat down today and started editing a little bit again and working through the next Headwaters, the return video. I got a couple new baits, nothing really special. I'm waiting on a couple of packages. I got some new stuff coming that I'm waiting to try out. I got some cool little projects that I'm going to get started here real shortly, but work's going good. I'm still alive. Like I said, still alive, and just trying to get everything done, man. Just trying to get everything done. But, guys, I appreciate everybody hanging out tonight, as always. If this was not one for the how-tos, I can tell you that's why it's called a fish tale. We talked about some funny fishing stories, told you a little bit about myself and what's been going on. So, next week, guys, Tuesday, right around 7:15 is when I like to kick it off, and we'll be getting that kind of stuff going. I'll have a little bit of stuff to talk to you guys about next week. We'll have little pictures and stuff like that, guys. So on that note, it's been real. It's been fun. We'll see you guys on the next one.